everyone, thank you so much for joining me for today's video. Today I'm giving up to one of the most popular trendy things that YouTubers tend to do, which is responding to people's assumptions about me. So recently I put up a story on Instagram where I asked people to share all of their assumptions that they had about me, and in today's video I'm going to sit down and clarify all of these assumptions and maybe tell you guys if these are true, untrue, whatever. So it's just a very casual chatty kind of a video just so that you can get to know me a little bit more, and with that let's begin. Okay, so let's start with the most common assumption that I've received on my story, which is you don't procrastinate, you do work all the time, you're really dedicated, and that your work is done before deadlines and all of that. Okay, I don't know what I'm doing to create an impression like this, but I am not a hard worker, neither am I a very organized, disciplined, never procrastinating kind of a person. And I know it may sound weird because I do a lot of things, right? I have like 2-3 different businesses and I do a lot of things. So it may seem like I have everything together and that I just do a lot of things, but it isn't true. I have a team of people who do things for me, and it at the cost of sounding a little narcissistic. I'm so sorry if it comes across as really, I don't know, snobbish or whatever. I think it takes me less time to do things than what it takes an average person, because this field is an area of interest for me. Does that make sense? Like, what I'm trying to say here is that if you are really good at something, then it would take you less time to do stuff in that field, right? Like, because you're just good at it. So whatever I'm doing today, like business coaching, YouTubing, video creation, content creation, all of these things come super naturally to me. So it doesn't take me a lot of time to do all of these things. So I procrastinate like forever. I would sit and just like wait for the very last minute to get things done. I watch TV shows all the time to pass time, just so that I don't have to do my work every day at 11 o'clock, even though I know that I have emails to answer and I have things to do, but I wait till 11 in the night to start replying to all of these emails. And I am lazy. I know a lot of people don't believe this, but I am really lazy. I'm just, one of those lucky people who got around to doing just the right things. Like, I just figured my way around and I started doing the right things that seem easy to me, things that excite me. So which is why I'm excited to do all the work that I do. But just like by nature, I'm a really unorganized, very distracted, very procrastination-y kind of person. It's because I create motivational videos. A lot of people think that, you must be like the best person at like time management and stuff. And but I make these videos because these videos help me too. Like, this is the kind of content I search for so that I can find some help. And that's why I end up making these kind of videos. So yeah, just want to like really clear the air around this, that I am not structured, I am not organized. I wish I was, but I'm not. The next question that I have is that you are not fond of pets. This is true. This is really true. Not that I have anything against animals in general, but I am scared of dogs. I don't like cats, and any pet for that matter, like rabbits or turtles and all of these pets that people generally tend to keep. They don't fascinate me. I don't enjoy taking care of an animal. I think it's a huge responsibility, and I'm just not cut out. I'm not a caregiving kind of a person, if that makes sense. Like, I'm very like in my own world, and like I'm not good at that, which is probably also why I'm really scared of having a kid, which I don't know. But just taking care of pets in general is just not my thing. And I don't like dogs, I don't like cats. I'm neither a cat person nor a dog person. I don't like pets, and I don't think I'll ever have a pet in my life. No, I don't think, I'm 100% sure that I will never have pets in my life. Okay, the next question that I've received a lot is that you never fight with Paritosh. Really, guys? You really think I don't fight with him? I live with this person 24/7, and in the last 8 months, we've literally seen each other's face. Like, that's the only face I saw for the last 6-7 months in this lockdown. So of course, like, it's normal to fight, right? Once in a while. We're just generally peace-loving people, both of us, and we try to avoid conflict. Like, we try to avoid as much as possible. Like, we try and not fight, but कुछ तो हो ही जाता है, मतलब we live in the same house. He has his opinions, I have my opinions, he has his way of doing things, I have my way of doing things. He's super organized, very structured, likes everything in the right place. I just throw things around in the house. I don't keep things clean. And yeah, so of course things like there are issues that happen, but our fights don't last long. Usually the longest fight we've ever had is probably like a couple of hours, where we just like really were like at each other's throat and just like screaming. But yeah, generally we don't fight much, but of course we have fights. Like it's totally normal to have fights. The next question that I have is that you had a love marriage. No, we actually had an arranged marriage, and we had a very typical arranged marriage for that matter. So my family found Paritosh on his profile on Shaadi.com, and that's how we met. So we're like a Shaadi.com success story. Like this, I'm not trying to promote Shaadi.com in any way, just FYI. But it's a nice site. Like you get to, it does the job. You find good people there, and I ended up meeting a really amazing person who I ended up marrying. So yeah, my family found him on Shaadi.com. We met, we had a nice conversation. It seemed like we were on the same page with a lot of things, and yeah, it's one of the best decisions I've ever made in my life. I ended up marrying the right kind of person, and we have the same long-term goals. We're just generally like excited to be with each other, and the best thing that I think we really found about each other like early on was that we were happy being with each other even in silence. Like even if none of us were talking, it didn't seem uncomfortable or weird. We were just generally like happy with each other. So yeah, we had a typical arranged marriage, but then we fell in love like in a couple of meetings and all of that, if that's a thing. Like I don't know, like I'm not super cheesy that way that oh my god, like I fell in love and all of that. But yeah, it's an arranged marriage that then turned into a nice, like a love story kind of a thing. Okay, so the next question I have is that your in-laws support you at your work. 100%. My in-laws are some of the, like they're the best kind of in-laws one could ask for. My mom-in-law, my father-in-law, they're both super supportive of the kind of work I do. They are really, 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 I can't put it in words how supportive they are of everything that I do. You know, when I started my YouTube channel, I told my mom-in-law that, you know, I'm doing something like this. She created a WhatsApp group of her friends, and she used to forward like my videos. She used to spam all of those people with my videos. And my father-in-law, I remember we were at a wedding function in the family, and we had just arrived there. And he just met us, and of course the moment you enter into like a family gathering kind of a situation, everyone came and they started, you know, asking us questions. Hey, how are you, how are things, and all of that. And I remember my father-in-law just like took me on the side and like away from everybody, and the first thing he asked me was, so how's your work, like how's your work going and how are you doing? So they're both like really invested in work that way, and they're very excited about the kind of work that I do, and they're super supportive. Like they really, really are super supportive, and I couldn't have asked for a better family. The next thing that I have is that I think you are a really calm person. You don't get irritated easily. This is probably true. Like I don't get irritated easily. It takes a lot for me to irritate me, but once I do get irritated, I'm like one of the worst people to like be around. And unless I'm on, like if I have my periods, then I'm just irritated by like if this leaf moves, I'm irritated by that. So just like I advise people around me to stay away from me when I have periods, but otherwise, yeah, I'm a calm person. I don't get irritated very easily. And but I think there are some things that I'm very weird about. Like I cannot stand people who are just all about themselves, and you know, which is a weird thing to say given that this entire video is about me. But still, like I try to avoid being in the company of the kind of people who irritate me. I have my core group of people, I have my community, and when I'm with them, they're all nice people, they're all exactly like me. We have similar goals, similar aspirations and all of that. So we end up like chilling together really well. So yeah, I don't get irritated easily as long as I'm with like my kind of people. If I'm with the wrong kind of people, then yeah, I get irritated. But then I don't know how to answer this. I'm not generally irritated, if that makes sense. Okay, cool. The next thing I have is that you are a perfectionist. No, like not at all. Have you seen my videos? I don't make perfect videos. If you come and see my stories on Instagram, they're hardly perfect. If you come and see the kind of content, the posts I make on Instagram, hardly perfect. Anything, any kind of work that I do, you'll always find some mistake on it. Like, I'm not that kind of person who would proofread things like 10 times to ensure that there's no error. Typos are my thing. Every time I put up a story on Instagram, there has to be some grammatical error. Not because like I'm bad at grammar, just because I'm so negligent and I'm just not a perfectionist, and I don't see that as a bad thing in general. Like, of course, it's nice if you're really like very detail oriented and all of that, and I'm really like, I aspire to be like those people, but I also don't see myself, the place that I'm in, as a bad thing, because since I'm not a perfectionist, I'm okay with like doing things and then pushing it out quickly. Which is why I think, you know, I could have waited like 3 years to bring out the perfect planner into the market, but I got the idea, I executed it in a couple of months, and which is why this is the 3rd year that I'll be doing my planners. So yeah, I think I'm just generally like chill about things. It's okay if I make mistakes. I'm a human. My audience understands that. People who follow me understand that. And if somebody doesn't like it, they come back to me and I say, okay, thanks for pointing it out. I'll just go correct it as long as I can. Sometimes on stories you can't correct it, but I keep making these kind of like errors here and there. I'm not a perfectionist, not by any means. And the next thing that we have here is that you love costly branded products. Okay, this is loaded. So I prefer quality products. Now I have to explain this, right? So I'm a minimalist and I don't feel the urge to buy too many things. For example, I don't want to have 20 or 50 or 100 lipsticks, or I don't want to have like hundreds of clothes in my cupboard. I don't want too many things. So I have the flexibility to buy more expensive, good quality things because I know they'll last me a long time and that I'll actually get my money's worth out of it. So I would rather have a few good quality pieces and use them as against having like a lot of okay pieces, if that makes sense. So which is why if it may seem like I end up buying a lot of branded things, but I always buy things from a long-term thought process that, you know, if this is going to last me like 6 years or 10 years from now, then I would rather invest in that versus investing in something that would go bad in like a couple of months or maybe up to a year, and then I would have to invest in it again. So which is why it may look like I buy a lot of fancy products, but I end up spending just the same kind of money that anybody else would do. Like somebody, if somebody buys like 20 really good quality clothes like every year, I buy one. So the kind of money we spend is the same, but it looks like I have like fancy things, but I have very few things. Like I have 20 things in my cupboard. I'm not exaggerating. I literally have 20 clothes, which is why you would see me wear the same thing again and again in videos, and I'm okay with that because they're all good quality pieces. They last me a long time. I get them tailor-made, so they're all like nice and like nice and perfect fitting for me. Of course, a lot of things have become loose because in the lockdown I lost a little bit of weight, but otherwise, yeah, most of the things are I'm not really after brands, I'm more after quality, if that makes sense. The next thing that we have is that you are very strict when it comes to work. I'm not very strict. You can ask my team, my videographer standing here, all of my other team members who work with me. I'm actually quite a chill boss, I think. I'm not weird about, oh, I need things to be perfect, and I don't scream at my team. I never get angry. I'm not that kind of a person. So yeah, I'm not strict with work at all, like not at all. I'm generally a very chill boss to work with. At least I imagine that to be, and Vrita's nodding, so I'm like happy with it. But yeah, I'm not strict at all. The next thing is that you live on a mountain. So this is partially true. I live on a hill. So we actually moved to the older side of Bangalore. Because we wanted to be a little away from the main part of the city. So we used to live in central Bangalore before this, which is like downtown, right? It's the place where there are all of these like restaurants and cafes, and that's like the hub of the city. But it was like too noisy for me. There used to be a lot of traffic, and every time I wanted to shoot a video, something would go by and I would have to stop, and horn noises. Just didn't want to be in a situation like that, and still wanted to be in Bangalore because such a lovely city. So we decided to move to the other side of the city, and now we live on top of a hill. This like a hill that we have in Bangalore, and the society is made on top of that. So which is why you see all of these amazing views outside of my apartment and everything. So yeah, I don't live on a mountain, but I live on a hill. The next thing that we have is that your monthly income is more than 10 lakhs. I wish. So my business makes more than that. But the money that my business makes is not my money. My money is the salary I get, and my salary is nowhere close to being 10 lakhs right now. So while my company still makes a lot of money, I don't. I make a fixed amount of salary every single month. So yeah, my income is definitely not 10 lakhs. I wish it was. The next thing I have is, you drink occasionally. Yes, I do. Socially, maybe like once in 4 or 5 months, maybe once in 3 months max. I don't enjoy drinking as much now as much as I used to do when I was like a college kid. Even in college, I remember throughout college I maybe drank like 3 times. And then masters maybe 1 or 2 times. After that, there was this phase where I was in a bad job, and every weekend was supposed to be like a celebration, like escape from that 9 to 5 life that I had, because it was a bad job. So that was one phase where I used to drink every weekend, but now I don't. I probably drink once in 3 months. I enjoy drinking as long as I'm with the right kind of people. I can't drink with everybody. I can't do shots. I can't drink excessively. Like, I would rather have like a few glasses of wine and just chill and listen to some nice music, have a good conversation with my husband. And I can't do parties. Like, I can't go to like really noisy, crowded places where people are just like dancing and there's a lot of music. That's not the kind of drinking I enjoy. I prefer to be in like a nice close setting with my close family, maybe friends and all of us, and just drinking. Yeah, that's what I prefer. Okay, the next thing is, you're not good at maths. That's not true at all. Maths is the only subject I was good at in school. It's the only subject that made sense to me, and it's the only thing I wanted to study like all the time. That's literally the only subject I studied. It could be because of my dad, who was an engineer, and he was from one of the best colleges in the country and all of that. So of course, like with my father's genes came into me, and I was also good at maths. So yeah, this is not true at all. The next thing we have is that you were born with a silver spoon and your parents bought you everything. This is again not true, like by any measure. I grew up in a very, very middle class family. My family didn't have a lot of money growing up, but we were really happy. We enjoyed each other's company. My mom, dad and I, we were super close. I don't have siblings, so I was the only child. So I would say that of course I was pampered, and I was given everything I wanted, but I wasn't given everything like right away. My mom was super strict about things. My dad was a little bit of a softie that way. Like, if I would go to him, he would just like, le lo yaar, kya hai itna. But my mom was still a little like strict. So she was like in that good cop, bad cop relationship. My dad was the good cop, my mom was the bad cop. And yeah, but we were not like by any means were we like loaded with money or anything, but we were happy. Like, I still think my childhood was like as good as it could have possibly been, and I would not trade my parents for anybody else in the world. Okay, and the last thing that I have is that you have done your MBA from IIM. Again, I wish, like, no, not really wish also. I haven't even done an MBA, so I'm not a management graduate. The reason why I've been asked this question is because apparently my time management and my management skills are good. I don't think an MBA teaches you management. You learn management like on your own. An MBA gives you like skill set generally, but like management to nahi na. Matlab meri dadi, my mom, none of these are like MBAs, but they're way better managers than I am. I'm sure your mom would be a great manager too without doing an MBA. So MBA नहीं सिखाता यार management and all, but मैंने नहीं किया. मेरा तो MBA नहीं किया है मैंने IIM से, and मेरा कोई plan भी नहीं है अभी. But I might do an MBA maybe later for like slightly more experienced people, because अब मैं MBA करने जाऊँगी तो I'll be like one of those बुड्ढा people in the class, so I don't want to be that also. So I'll see, but नहीं किया मैंने. IIM से तो नहीं किया है. But it's nice that you think कि मैं इतनी smart और इतनी intelligent हूँ. ऐसा कुछ भी नहीं है. I'm hardly of that like level. So yeah, with that I have answered some of these assumptions. I hope you enjoyed listening to this video and that this video was fun. and it gave you some insights, and that I clarified, and it honestly was a super narcissistic video to shoot, but ठीक है, कभी कभी चलता है. So just decided to like shoot this whole thing, and yeah, let me know how you enjoyed this in the comments. Give it a big like if you enjoyed it, and I will see you next time. Bye.